Better you. By what am I thinking? The small town in PG County, though not renowned for much, had a quiet charm. 20 miles from Washington, D.C., its tiny streets lined with modest homes and family-owned shops felt like stepping back in time. It was the kind of place where life moved slowly, where everyone knew each other's business, and where the landscape seemed to hold onto memories that no one could quite recall, but still felt nostalgic. Paula had lived there for as long as she could remember, but it wasn't the town she had grown attached to, it was the people. Or rather, one person. Her childhood friend, Bowen, had always been her rock, the one who gave her a sense of belonging in a place that sometimes felt more like a collection of memories than a home. But that was before he changed, before he became someone she barely recognized. Bowen, Paula called out, her voice cutting through the stillness of the afternoon. She had come to find him in the park, near the old oak tree where they used to spend hours dreaming about the future. About living in neighboring condos in D.C. He was sitting beneath it now, elbows resting on his knees, his eyes fixed on the ground. His demeanor was a shadow of what it once had been. "I need to talk to you," Paula added, stepping closer to him, her heart tightening in her chest. He looked up slowly, his face somber, his eyes carrying a sadness she couldn't quite place. Bowen hadn't been himself for months, not since the accident that left him with a permanent limp and a jagged scar running down the left side of his face. But it wasn't just the physical changes. His spirit had dimmed, the light inside him snuffed out piece by piece. Paula sat down next to him, drawing her knees to her chest. The wind stirred the leaves above them, sending a whirlwind through the air. "You've been avoiding me, Bo. I know you don't want to talk about what happened, but—" "I don't want to be who I was anymore, Paula," Bowen interrupted, his voice low and angry. Her heart sank. Not this again. She had heard him say similar things before. He had been withdrawing from everything and everyone, from her, from the future they had planned throughout the majority of their childhood. "Bowen, you're not supposed to be this way," she hesitated. "I mean, please look at you, you're—" The word she wanted to say was lost, but it felt too harsh. "You're not the person I knew." An empty laugh escaped him. "You know what's funny? I used to think I was unstoppable, that nothing could break me, but I was wrong. I'm not that person anymore, and maybe that's okay. You're wasting your time, Paula." Paula bit her lip, trying to hold back the tears threatening to spill out. She didn't know how to fix him. She wasn't even sure she could reach him. Maybe he was right. Maybe he really was broken. Maybe he couldn't come back from this. A long silence stretched between them, broken only by the wind swirling the leaves overhead. "Why are you so angry?" Paula finally asked, her voice gentle but firm. "Why do you want to stay stuck in this version of yourself? You don't have to be this person. There's more for you, there's always more." Bowen's eyes hardened. "You don't get it, do you? This is who I am now, I don't have a choice, I can't go back." The words stung, but Paula wouldn't back down. "No, Bo, the truth is you don't want to go back, you're hiding behind your fear. And I get it, okay? You think I don't, but I do. I understand the part of you that feels like you can't face what's happened. I can see the person you're afraid to be, the one who's been through something horrible and still keeps going. That person is better than the one sitting here with me right now." Bowen's brow lowered, confusion flashing in his eyes. "Better? What are you talking about?" Paula leaned forward, her voice steady. "Behind every fear is a better version of yourself, Bo, a version that's stronger, wiser, more capable. You think you're broken, but you don't see that the fear you're clinging to, that fear that you'll never be whole again, is the very thing stopping you from becoming something even greater than you were before." The wind picked up, tugging at Paula's jacket. She could feel Bowen's skepticism in the way he was holding himself, rigid, as though her words couldn't break through the emotional wall he'd built around himself. Still, she pressed on, the weight of her own struggles urging her to reach him. "You think you're stuck, Bo, but really you're in the middle of a transformation. The way forward is through the fear." She took a deep breath, feeling the familiar tug of her own emotions. "And Bo, you're not the only one who's changed." His eyes locked onto hers, searching for sincerity. He hesitated before speaking again, his voice filled with doubt. So what? You're telling me to just face the fear, to accept who I am now, to let all of this in, the accident, my face?" Paula nodded, her heart swelling with empathy. "Yes, but it's not just about accepting it. It's about understanding that this pain, this moment, it's not the end. It's the beginning of something new. You think these changes have broken you, but they're showing you what happens when you let fear define you. You're letting it stop you. Pacing, short, reflective pause here. What if I told you that the people who seem to have it all together, those polished DC professionals we always talk about, who look good on the exterior, believe me, they don't always know what it means to truly live either. Bowen frowned. What do you mean? Paula exhaled, choosing her words carefully. Most people never face fear, they never struggle the way you have, and because of that they never evolve. They stay stagnant, stuck in a version of life they think they should have. But you, Bo, you've been given the chance to become something better. You have to stop running from the discomfort and embrace the change. Because the people who don't evolve, they stay locked in a life that's never truly theirs. Bowen's gaze softened, but doubt still lingered in his eyes like a shadow he couldn't shake. Paula could see it. He wanted to believe her, but the fear was still holding him back. What if I'm too far gone? He whispered. Paula shook her head, her voice gentle but firm. You're not, none of us are, but you have to choose to step into who you're meant to be, not who you think you should be, not who you were, but who you are becoming. Don't let fear paralyze you. There's freedom in letting it go. Pacing, transition into a lighter, hopeful tone. Bowen didn't answer right away. For a moment, Paula thought he might retreat into himself again, but instead he looked up at her, his expression changing ever so slightly, as if he were finally beginning to understand. I'm not sure I can do it alone, Paula, he admitted quietly. Paula smiled, placing a reassuring hand on his shoulder. You don't have to, you have me, and you have you, that's all you ever needed. For the first time in a long while, Bowen didn't look defeated. He looked uncertain, yes, but the walls around him seemed just a little thinner. Okay, he said softly, a small light returning to his eyes. Okay, maybe you're right. As the wind continued to spin the leaves above them, Paula felt a quiet, confident hope that they were both on the brink of something new. Something better. The fear, the pain, the uncertainty, they now knew none of it would last forever. Because behind every fear, a better version of themselves was waiting to emerge. And sometimes, you just had to face it to find out who you were truly meant to be. As they sat beneath the old oak, laughter replaced the seriousness of their conversation. Before long, they were once again laughing and debating which DC neighborhood their matching condominiums would be in, just like they always had.